Today's shooting comes as some 70,000 gun owners and supporters are arriving in Houston for the National NRA Convention. This year's theme, Stand and Fight.
Tomorrow, Texas Governor Rick Perry, an avid gun rights supporter, will speak to the group.
Earlier this week, as he spoke exclusively with reporter Ted Oberg.
We met the governor a few days ago at LaRue Tactical, a Central Texas manufacturer of highly precise military-style weapons, to talk and shoot. It was a chance to ask the governor why his support for gun rights is so unyielding at a time when the vast majority of Americans feel something needs to change. It is a recent morning north of Austin, and Governor Rick Perry is holding court at a picnic table.
On that green pole down there is an egg.
He's also holding a .308 LaRue Tactical assault rifle. If there is a furious gun control debate in this country, you wouldn't know it here. Right now, the governor is focused on an egg, and it's about 100 yards downrange.
My instinct is...
Perry grew up with guns, he's familiar with them, and suspects if everyone knew what he did, they'd see this divisive issue his way.
When's the first time you shot? Do you remember?
Tighten it up. That would have been 4, as long as whenever you could get around the stock of a gun. To me, this is no different than any of those other types of hobbies.
His hobby, though, involves weapons a decreasing but still majority number of Americans want banned. Perry says assault weapons, though, are critical for personal protection from criminals and, extending his argument, even wild game.
You really need this to get rid of a feral hog?
You obviously have not been around a 350-pound boar feral hog.
Now Perry is enticing gun makers fleeing new restrictions to come here to Texas. Good for jobs, he says. A gun gear manufacturer just announced a move to Texas yesterday. And Perry calls the recently defeated background check bill an ineffective waste of time.
They're so focused on the wrong issue. They're trying to make law-abiding people jump through more hoops. And I think a lot of this is like those on the left, and they just want something that they can say, oh, we won a battle here.
So if not a weapons ban or an extended background check, what would Perry support to somehow slow the 30,000 American gun deaths every year?
What's a gun rights reform that you think you and the NRA could support?
I'm not sure that there's any gun reform that's needed in this country. I mean, again, I think
Nothing?
As of just a few weeks ago, 540,000 people applied to buy a firearm this year in Texas alone. 1 out of every 39 Texans in just 3 months. It is as many as 16 other states combined. And those gun owners clearly have the right guy in the governor's office, someone who's not ashamed to be a gun owner.
That's good. The vast majority of the people in our state and in our country don't have a deep knowledge about firearms. They are afraid of them. And I think the more we talk about them is another good day.
Which brings us back to that egg 100 yards off. Now it's gone.
That is not unlike a hole-in-one.
We have the egg.
And then it was my turn.
All right, we're good.
In the middle of a nationwide debate on gun control, sitting with a governor far to one side of the argument. Success? Easier on the range than compromise is in Congress.
Get
what do you think of that?
Here, man, that is awesome. So easy, even Ted Oberg would do it.
The governor has said repeatedly and told us again this week that the change he could support would be to increase treatment for the mentally ill and efforts to keep guns out of their hands. He denies criticism that he hasn't done enough in his time as governor to do that already. Ted Oberg, 13 Eyewitness News.